Fallout 4 might be 7 years old, but it is getting a next generation update this year, and there are still many people playing the game every single day, so I thought it wouldn't be a bad idea to go over essential tips that you need to know whilst you play Fallout 4, since with this next gen update arriving later this year, there's probably going to be a lot of people replaying the game for the first time in many years, and there's probably going to be quite a few things that they've forgotten about. So in this video, we're going to be going over essential tips that you need to know whilst you play Fallout 4 in 2023. So let's waste no more time and let's get straight into the video. So the first essential tip that you need to know whilst playing Fallout 4 is that you should collect everything for crafting and tag resources to find what you need. Crafting has been expanded massively in Fallout 4, as well as potentially taking up hours of your time as you experiment with the literally thousands of different options at your disposal. All the junk you pick up is made of component parts that can be put to better use for upgrading armor, modifying weapons, and so forth. Clipboards, tin cans, desk fans, everything has a hidden value, and you should always check your workbenches to see what components you're missing for whatever it is you're looking to build, and then use the tag for search function. From then on, your Pip-Boy will conveniently highlight those components when you are looting, so you can quickly and easily grab the things that you need for your upgrades and not pick up the things that you don't need. But of course, do remember to untag things once you've found enough, otherwise you'll end up searching for absolutely everything all the time, well, forever. And the second essential tip is to use workbenches to scrap and build bigger things at settlements. Certain items like tires or sinks can only be harvested when you're in an area close to a workbench, like the Red Rocket gas station or the town of Sanctuary. At these locations you can scrap trees, cars, traffic pylons, street lamps, mailboxes, ruined houses, all of which gets broken into its components and stored in your workbenches. Each workbench in an area shares all of its stuff with every workbench in that area, so just dump the junk you've gathered from the wasteland into whatever bench is most convenient for you. But do be aware that only the benches in a single settlement share resources, so if you want to use all the steel you've gathered at the Starlight Drive-In to make house in Sanctuary, you're going to have to pick it up and move it. Pretty much everything is good for something, but you may want to pursue your construction options to see what elements you need most. So the next tip is to use perks to make the most of your modding. Now, modding your weapons and armor is just one of the parts of crafting, and it's a fantastic, albeit a very time consuming, way to keep your guns up to scratch as you come up against tougher foes. You can also tweak your guns to fit other purposes, for example adding scopes to pistols or attaching scattered barrels to laser rifles to turn them into laser shotguns. Now, in order to get the best available from quite early on in the game, you should invest in the mod specific perks that open up later ranks for you to play around with. There are separate ones for melee weapons and firearms. You'll still need to find the necessary components to build these mods, so it's not an easy win when it comes to arming yourself to the teeth, but every little does help when you're surviving in a post-nuclear wasteland, of course. So the next essential tip is to choose the right companion for the job and remember where you sent them. Now, there are several companions in Fallout 4, all with different skills, strengths and weaknesses to use. I am actually thinking of making a guide about the companions within Fallout 4. If you're interested in watching something like that, let me know down in the description. But the most obvious is your faithful canine, Dogmeat, who's great for searching abandoned buildings for good treasure, and the classic robot butler Codsworth is pretty decent in battle and really rather durable. You can talk to them to find out about their history and even unlock unique companion quests when you do reach certain points within the game, but it can be quite difficult to keep track of where they are at all times, as the game doesn't actually have a companion screen to see exactly where they're at. So keep close track of them, and when you dismiss them from your service, go back to one of your settlements, try to remember where you sent them. It is also worth noting that when you do dismiss a companion to a settlement, they will walk there, they won't fast travel. That's definitely something worth noting. That can take a bit of time. So the next tip is that you can mod your power armor at racks. Now, power armor is cool straight away, but the questions that many people ask is how do you fix it when it's broken, or upgrade the legs, or how do you paint it? Now, first find a power armor rack. It's a yellow rack that will be near some workbench locations. You can exit your power armor anywhere, you just need to hold X on a Xbox controller or square and step backwards, but it does have to be near the rack for you to work on it. Now, once it's parked in the right spot, highlight the rack and you'll have the option to tweak your armor how you see fit. You won't have all the options immediately though, you'll have to find certain magazines around the wasteland to learn new paint schemes. The next essential tip is to build settlements, but don't forget to maintain them. Now Fallout 4 puts you in charge of your own settlements that you can then manage, expand and customize to your own liking. Your character's pre-war hometown, Sanctuary Hills, is your first stop once you exit the vault, and it forms the central hub of your operations. Settlement building is a great way to put you in control of rebuilding the once great Commonwealth, from constructing your own personal house to creating shelters for your settlers, crops and also water supplies, right down to crafting furniture and getting supply routes so that traders can come and sell your wares. Now of course, setting up bastions of hope in such a desolate place attracts the unwanted attention of raiders, so you will need to set up defenses too. Now keep close eyes on your resources and junk materials, and don't forget that you can always go into craft mode and scrap most things in the world, crumbling houses, trees, cars and all furniture, to make better use of their individual components. Be vigilant and be versatile. Fallout 4 settlements are definitely something to really focus on. So the next essential tip is to be smart about saving your ammo. Now ammunition can be incredibly rare to find within Fallout 4, more than in any of the previous Fallout games actually. You do have to regularly switch between your best weapons as you manage ammo supplies, only occasionally being able to shell out invaluable bottle caps to buy bullets, fusion cells, grenades and such at certain stores. So make sure you have a decent variety of guns with you at all times in order to hedge your bets. So of course, a pretty easy and a pretty obvious way to save your ammo is to melee weaker enemies. So the first few enemies that you do encounter within Fallout 4 are going to be pretty weak, and they're really not going to hurt you at all, to be honest. So at least definitely at the start of the game, you can pretty much melee most things. It's going to be a pretty easy way to just save loads of ammo and save it for later within the game. Definitely make sure you are keeping an eye on that. You are going to want it, especially as you get near the end of Fallout 4. So the next tip is to actually make sure that you do sleep a decent amount within Fallout 4. Now, you will be exploring the wasteland quite a lot, but really do be sure to just sleep every once in a while. This is going to give you full health and the bonus of the well rested perk, which permits a 10% experience points boost for everything that, well, grants you experience points. It's also worth noting that if you share the bed with one of your companions, you'll receive the Lover's Embrace perk, which does the same but bumps this up by an extra 5%, giving you a 15% experience boost points for, yeah, everything that grants experience points. So the final tip is that sometimes it's actually better to talk things out with certain characters within the game than actually go to combat. Of course, if you really enjoy the combat in the game, then obviously go to combat, and it's going to be like that for a lot of players. But if maybe you're low on ammo, you're a bit weak, and you don't really want to be getting in combat right now, it's going to be risky, then you can actually try to talk things out. You don't always have to go into combat. You can try to take the moral high ground and just talk your way out of things. It might be easy for you, and of course it could actually, well, save your life. Definitely something worth noting for certain points with it in the game. And there we go, that does just about wrap up things here. Those are the essential tips that you need to know when you are playing Fallout 4 within 2023 and beyond. With the release of this next generation update just around the corner, familiarizing yourself with the game again certainly isn't a bad idea, and now you are definitely going to have no issues replaying the game again if you do decide to do so with this next generation update. And yeah, that does just about wrap up things here. Now, I have actually done a video going over what to expect from the Fallout 4 next generation update arriving later this year, and links to that video is on the screen now if you are interested in watching that.